Hi everybody, my name is Eric Brimat, Chief Operating Officer of Cola Hemp Co. and Flowersy.com. In this module we are going to talk about different methods of growing and harvesting CBD hemp. Hemp can be produced indoors or outdoors, and each method has its pros and cons. Growing hemp indoors allows for more environmental control. Being able to control temperature, humidity, airflow, and light allows for more consistency and quality. With the control of so many variables, indoor CBD hemp can be grown year-round with multiple harvests. Cons of indoor grows. Although growing indoors allows for more control, it comes at an extremely high cost. Some of these costs are the rent, the build-out, the equipment, the soil, the nutrients, the electricity to run the lights and the fans and the dehumidifiers. You need pots and an irrigation system, and the list goes on. Because of all of these costs, indoor produced CBD hemp is typically more expensive than hemp cultivated outdoors. Another way to produce hemp is outdoors. Outdoor hemp production is the most common and cost-effective method of producing CBD hemp. When cultivating outdoors, it is important to know what kind of soil you have and what you need to treat your soil with prior to the start of the grow season. Sandy loam and black dirt are very well-draining soils and are very common soil types in the New Jersey and New York area. Depending on the location of the farm, hemp is planted late May to early July. Growing outdoors comes with many challenges. Because there is little control of the environment, outdoor hemp plants can be subject to destructive weather, pests, diseases, and theft. Some outdoor farms use pesticides and fertilizers. Also, heavy metals in the soil can render your plants useless post-harvest. The two most common methods of propagation are seeds and clones. Either of these methods can be used when planting hemp indoors or planting outdoors. When propagating from seeds, they are planted 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep and typically take 3 to 10 days to germinate. Once they germinate and become seedlings, they take about 7 to 18 days before they move into the vegetative state. Growing from seeds comes with risk. When producing hemp plants for CBD material, you do not want any male plants. Depending on the feminization rate of your seeds, you could have up to 50% males in your crop. Scouting for males and removing males from your crop is very labor intensive. Males need to be removed immediately before they pollinate. Also, some seeds simply do not germinate. The seeds that don't germinate don't grow. If you are growing from seed, it is very important you understand the germination rate and feminization rate of your seeds. Growing from clones or feminized cuttings is a great alternative to seeds. At Cola Hemp Co., we take cuttings from select mother plants, apply a rooting agent to the stem, and place them in starter pellets. They are then transferred to climatization chambers for rooting. When planting clones, they are already in the vegetative state. This means you skip the germination and seedling phase of the plant cycle, and you are guaranteed female plants, since they were cut from female mothers. They also provide consistency in size, phenotype, and overall quality. It takes about 4 months of growing CBD hemp before it can be harvested. If you are growing outdoors, this is early to mid-fall, somewhere around September, October. The pistils should be about 70% amber when 50% of the trichomes turn from clear to cloudy. At Cola Hemp Co., we harvest all of our plants by hand because doing it by hand is the best practice to maintain quality assurance. The plant is cut at the base of the stem. It's very important that the plants do not touch the ground when you cut them. The resin on the bud is very, very sticky and can pick up dirt or other contaminants if they make contact with anything. Harvesting by hand is labor intensive, and depending on the size of your crop, it can be hard finding people who know how to properly handle the plants when it's harvest time. There are ancillary business opportunities in providing labor for harvesting. Drying and curing is such an important part of the overall process, and it's actually half the battle. The most beautifully cultivated CBD hemp plants can easily be ruined if not dried or cured properly. These post-harvest processes are definitely labor-intensive and require knowledge for quality insurance. Some hemp farmers do not have a drying and curing facility and look for third-party solutions. Transportation of the plants to and from the farm, drying, curing, shucking, trimming, all of these are ancillary businesses that farmers would definitely benefit from. When drying CBD hemp, a controlled indoor environment is best. Plants are hung upside down on racks and placed in a room that is below 40% humidity and between 60 to 70 degrees. It can take 4 to 10 days to dry the plants using this method, depending on the moisture content of your plants. After the plants are dry, the plants are then hand shucked. Shucking is the action of removing the plant material from the stem. After hand shucking the plants, plant material is then sorted and separated. All of the leafy material from the plants is biomass, and all of that resinous bud is flower. Biomass is typically stored in large bags and cures naturally. The flower, however, needs some extra love, called curing. Curing rehydrates the bud uniformly. The buds are placed into sealed containers with a hygrometer, about 75% full. It's important that you leave some room in the container for air. We then place the sealed container in a cool, dark place. Once a day, we burp the containers by opening the lid and reading the hygrometer. Once the hygrometer reads about 50% relative humidity, your buds are ready for packaging. This process can take around 2 weeks, sometimes longer depending on the environment in which it's stored. Curing can increase potency and terpene profiles and give the buds a better shelf life.
The purpose of extraction is to use a solvent or an agent to extract the trichome structure and dissolve it in an uptake agent, something like MCT oil or alcohol. A light solvent, like a light hydrocarbon such as propane, has a low boiling point, which means it's easier to remove from the product. For example, let's talk about shatter. Shatter is a concentrate. Shatter is made with a hydrocarbon, very dry flour, and a cold solvent. It is then placed in a mildly heated vacuum to purge the solvents, creating a glass-like or Jolly Rancher consistency that, you bet, shatters when at room temp. A popular high-volume method for extraction are distillates and isolates. However, it needs a lot of refinement to be consumable. Let's walk through this process. It starts with a large amount of dry biomass. All the parts of the plant, stems, roots, leaves, gathered from the shucking and trimming. To extract, you need a hydrocarbon, or ethanol, which is more user-friendly and cost-conscious. You then saturate the biomass in ethanol, and you're left with a crude oil of chlorophyll, fats, wax, lipids, and cannabinoids. The next step is to vaporize the cannabinoids from the crude oil. Think of a boiling pot of water and how the steam vaporizes. It actually distills into the air. It's the same idea. The crude oil is refined through a winterization process which separates particles and then goes through fine filtrations like activated charcoal. Winterization process involves dissolving the extract in ethanol, then placing the mixture in a freezer to chill to separate lipids and other desired oil compounds from waxes. Fine filtration removes suspended particles like oils and waxes. And activated charcoal is used for purification of CBD oils to remove chlorophyll and mediate color and taste. It is a great process to make many products with consistency and quality assurance. Because you have so much biomass available, you can scale this product. Once you have a distillate, it is added into an uptake agent like MCT oil, which is comprised of fatty acids. Saturated fatty acids, usually derived from a coconut or palm oils. Unlike most saturated fatty acids, MCTs are metabolized quickly and stored minimally as fat in the body. It's thought that healthy fats like MCT oil enhance the therapeutic benefits. Thank you again for watching Farm to Tincture. Let's recap what we went through. We went over indoor and outdoor growing, and their advantages and disadvantages. We discussed methods of propagation, why germinating from seed is full of discovery, whereas clones provide much more predictability. We discussed harvest ancillary opportunities and the need for skilled labor. We touched on the importance of drying and curing and how that can make or break a product. And we gave an overview of the extraction process, specifically how distillation is used to make an MCT oil-based tincture. Thank you to Eric from Cola Hemp, and we'll see you next month with the next higher education class. Be well.